Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I am Evil Mike, and I got a review for you. This is from Awa Upshot. This is out issue number 2. It's written by Rob Williams, artist by Will Conrad. We got colors by Marco Lesko and letters by Sal Cipriano. Sorry if I butchered any of those names. At the end of this review, I'll show you some of the art that's in the book. But in a nutshell, Out is it's basically like a vampire tale with the Germans and Nazis mixed in. But the first issue, it takes place at like a camp at a castle or something like that somewhere in Germany, and we find that like German soldiers have been they're experimenting and stuff like that during World War II. The Americans are it's near the end of the war, and the Americans are about to finish. They're encroaching on German territory, so the Germans are kind of like at a last leg. In this book, that the castle or compound or it's basically like an experimental type of place that they have set up, but basically it all surrounds like a old graveyard that's buried under the church, which houses a vampire. It's kind of like vampires, but mainly like one vampire that they have down there. That's still a little. It's just a massive hole, and we don't really know how many are down there yet. But they do showcase like one vampire most of the time. But basically, they're trying to reenact ancient magic and stuff like that to control the vampire. But in the first book, we met that they have prisoners and scientists and stuff working, with them trying to figure this out. And the prisoners, you're using, of course, as food, that kind of thing. The main our main character is I think he's Apachean, but he's basically like a wind talker. He basically knows a whole bunch of different languages. And at the end of the book, he was at the first book, he was trying to escape, and he was he had made it out to the courtyard. There's also this side story where you have a bunch of soldiers that are, of course, trying to escape this camp that is set up. But this issue starts out, and it's basically starting out right where the last issue left. And I think the main character is Napoleon or something like that, the Apache individual. But it basically starts out where he's in that courtyard trying to escape, and he had ran into vampires at the very last of the book, and now that they're about to get him, kind of thing. The German soldiers come quickly, and they shine it basically looks like a huge Christian spotlight, it's a big crucifix shaped spotlight, and basically it kills I think it's 3 vampires, and it's and they're just gone. So the German soldiers collect him because of course he's trying to escape or whatever, and they take him into the inner church where the main vampire is, where the hole is that they have him in, because it's basically like a very deep grave, it looks like, but supposedly he was trapped there a long time ago. But the book mainly focuses on the Germans still trying to control this thing. They know that they can at this point a little bit, but they know it needs to feed. They have this preacher that's supposedly translating these things. The other side of the story, it's really these it's focused on the other prisoners, or I think they're American soldiers that are trying to escape the camp, and they are digging under the castle basically. And it's I think in the last issue, their main guy who was building the tunnel system under the castle he was one of the people that ended up dying with the vampires. So now they're at a kind of lost. They're still trying to continue. Eventually, part of the tunnels cave in, and they have to stop digging, and they try to go recruit other prisoners to try and help dig out of this prison. The other end, it's them taking Nyamiko or the Apache individual. I know I'm mispronouncing it. I'm bad with names, guys. But they end up taking him into, after they had captured him and bring him back in after he tried to escape. They take him into the hole, and they're gonna feed the vampire, and like basically the vampire starts talking, and the guy that's supposed to be like doing the tombs, the preacher, he's supposedly been translating what the vampire is saying, and that's kind of like what's been keeping him alive with the Germans. And basically, the Germans, the Apache, he comes up and they're about to like kick him into the grave, and he's like, "Wait!" And he's like, and the preacher is like translating something the vampire is saying, and the Apache is like, "No, that's not what he's saying." He was like, it's not a vampire language. He's just speaking Old Czech." And I think that's how you pronounce it, but old Czech, but basically older, like an older version of the Russian language. And he just says it's like heavily miscrewed because it doesn't look like our normal version of a vampire. It's more like a monstrous version of vampire, and he's probably like, but and the guy is basically saying that he's got like a heavy, weird accent, but that he is speaking the older version of Czech. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I don't know if I've ever heard like how they say that, but I think it's like Chezh or Czech. Okay, so anyways, it kind of saves the Apaches, the main character. It kind of saves his life because he starts translating for the vampire, and the vampire is basically just saying "free me," and the other guy thought he was saying like "I need to be fed" and this and that. It is clothes, feed me, free me. But basically, the Germans turn around and kick the preacher into the hole to feed the vampire, and they're going to use like Niamio or I've said his name like 6 different ways, but basically they're going to use them to translate what the vampire is saying. At the very end of the comic, it does show that like another high-ranking like German official comes to check like the progress and everything, and he basically tells the main German officer there that that he's going to shut down the project that the Americans are about to war, and the top German like scientist or whatever that's there, he's like, no, there's none of this like winning stuff, and he basically shoots his superior and throws him into the vampire thing. Like he's going to continue on with, he really believes that this vampire is going to be the secret weapon that ends all like wars kind of thing, and the Germans are going to win. And basically that's where this book leads off. But really quick story so far. The art is amazing. It's I'm about to show you, but the story is very quick. It's a very quick read, but so far it's a very good read. But I can still say it's kind of on the less side since it's a quick read. But just show you some different stuff. Let me get trying to get it to focus. Overall, I've really enjoyed it. It's such a basic story. It's just vampires and Nazis, but yeah, overall, it's really good. Hey guys, that's my review. I will see y'all later. You have a great day. Bye!